Hi Year 7 and 8, I'm making this video to show you how to use our college's cricut to put a design on the front of your bag. Now, first you'll need to go onto the internet and download the software. So you go to cricut.com, it's cricut.com, and it'll take you to their homepage, which is this one, and top right hand corner here you've got an option here to sign in. Click that. Now I have an account already, so I can sign in, but you will need to create a Cricut ID. So click there, fill this in using your school email address, create a password, first name, last name, and pick the country. Okay, bang. Okay, you will need to click on the agree to the Cricut terms and policy and create your Cricut ID. You should then be able to sign in. Okay, so follow that process. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, so you'll see now I'm in my account because I'm signed in. And that's an ad, so I'll just close that. Right, now there's some information on here about the Cricut. It shows you a few different machines and what they can do. So they can do things like hold pens. They can do iron on things, which is what we're looking for. That's a different Cricut there. That's the one we've got. And we're looking for their design space software. Okay. So here, so it's towards the bottom design space, and click there. And I already have this downloaded, but you will need to click on the I agree and then download the software. Once it's downloaded and you've run the install, it will be on your desktop. Double click to open. Each time you open it, it checks for updates and will keep updating, which is what mine's doing now. And here we go. So I'm just going to click close. Okay, you might get some questions pop up as to what type of machine we have. We have the maker. Okay, if it's something else, you can select to change it. It might pop up in a big box at the front. Just depends how it's happening now with the download. Alright, so I'm going to click New Project, top right hand corner. It'll take me to the workspace, and this is set up in centimetres for me. You can check by clicking on the menu, going down to Settings, and Canvas and Units Metric. Perfect. Okay, just going to scroll and click Done. Okay, I'm ready to start designing. Now I've told you that we're going to be designing within 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Now here there's a zoom, so I can just zoom out and I can see that space now that I'm going to be designing in. The Cricut is actually 30 centimetres wide and we can go down to 60 centimetres long, but the heat press that we're going to be using to apply to our bag will best do something that's 20 by 20. That means you won't have to move it around, you won't get sections of your design that are faded off in the edges. 20 by 20 works best. Now, there's some tools here I'll go through with you. So, shapes, just single click. You're in the free section. There's things down here you can subscribe and buy, but guys, don't. It's a waste of money. You can do a lot with just the basic shapes. Let's have a look at a few things. So, just single click, places your shape in. You can change sizes, rotate. That's your delete button. The padlock is to change the aspect ratio. So as I'm making this bigger and smaller, it's still staying a square. you can unclick the padlock, which means, all right, I can change the width and the height independent of each other. Okay. You can manually type in sizes. So if you want to be really specific, you can go, all right, I want to make that 15 and that one 6. And the rotation, I want to put that back to 0. So it's straight again. Oops. Okay, it's a little odd. You do have undo buttons. There we go. And so I can still unclick, I can change my size back. Let's just say 10 by 5, enter. You can change your rotate there if you want. There we go. You might want that to be a frame, because at the moment all it's going to do is print a blank rectangle, full colour, or whatever sheet you picked from Spotlight. I can do Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Now I've got another one, so I can make that one smaller. Okay, I can do things like holding Shift and picking both shapes over here. And then up here, like in Word, you can align things. So I'm going to go, okay, align it to the center, align it to the center this way, and it's dead center. Okay, and you can see that I've made it quite fat here and quite skinny there. Cool, that's one way you can do it. And now what it would do, the cutter, which is like a little fine blade, it's going to cut around here, it's going to cut in here, and then you can choose to peel that section out, just leaving the frame. Okay, so you can get creative like that. Okay. You can do that with other shapes as well, whatever you want. Let's look at a star. Might make him bigger. And instead of trying to make another star like this, Control C, Control V, and then trying to center a line again, and then having to multi-select, holding Shift, and then aligning both ways through the center. Okay, there's another way you can do it. Delete. I can just click here. There's a button here called Offset, and I can tell it how far to move it in. And you can see in the background, it's putting a blue line. So now I'm going outside, and you can tell it to have rounded corners, and you can tell it to have sharp corners, and it will do that shape for you. So I'm going to take that smaller to go back inside the shape, and you can even tell it how far in you want it. So you might go, oh, I want it 1 centimetre in the whole way around. Oops, -1. Enter. Apply. Okay, so you can do it that way as well. That's shape, so you can click through and play with the different shapes and what you can design with those. You can get creative. Now, text is fairly straightforward. Oops. Okay, when you click on text, you've got options here for fonts. Now you'll see some of these you have to pay for. Don't. Change it to system up here and it will just list all the free ones. So you can choose from all these. Now, just be careful. These super fancy looking ones are quite tricky to work with because they're skinny. They've got really small parts. That one's actually pretty easy. Meant to click on. This one. Okay, so where it gets really skinny in here, you actually have to peel the paper out. So just keep that in mind. Things that are a bit bigger and thicker are a lot easier to work with. I'm not saying don't do it, just be really mindful of it. Small and skinny, hard to work with sometimes, okay? I might change mine to something a bit thicker. That'll be a lot easier to work with. Some of the fonts will have different styles. So you can change that. You've got your size again. You can spread the letters out here. You can put it on a curve. So you can play with that. You can ungroup the letters so that if you just want to move particular letters in particular places or rotate some letters different ways just to get a different look, you can. You might want to have some bigger. You can. Okay. There's those things you can do there. Upload's a cool one. So there might be a specific picture you want to put on it. So you could see that mine had a logo on it that was a tree, set of tree growth rings. So you can use upload. So I've got a series of pictures here that I can choose from, or you can upload your own image. So you could go to Google Images. I might type in Border Collie outline. And it works best with black and white images. So I might try this one, and the higher quality it is, the better it works. So it's a bit hit and miss finding the good quality images. So I'm just going to right click Save Image As, and a JPEG will work. So I'm just going to throw that in my pictures folder. BC2. Back in Cricut, in my upload images, browse, BC2, open. It gives you a preview here, and then working across, you tell it what sort of image type it is. Okay, it's simple, it's high contrast colors, black and white, so it should be easy to split up. And then click continue. Right, now we need to remove the background. So this crosshair that I've got as my cursor, if I click on the background that I want to get rid of, done. Now you can zoom in here and you can scroll. So I'm doing a 2-finger scroll, or you can use the scroll bars. And I'm going to make sure these sections in here are deleted as well. Being really careful where I'm clicking. If you do click the wrong section, that happens. You can press the undo button. Okay, you can do a preview. And you can see that you can't really tell that's an eye. So I might just zoom in a little more and make sure I've got it all. It's the best it's going to get on that particular image. So you could go back and change images, but if you're happy with it, like when you zoomed out, you can still quite easily recognise that it's a dog. Preview. And it's got nice smooth lines in it. Some you'll get, and there could be like really jagged little edges. That's because of the resolution of the original image you downloaded. So I would just download a better quality image. Okay, you're happy with it? Excuse me. Hit apply and continue. And you need to select the cut image version and hit upload. There's my dog barking in the background. Sorry, guys. Okay, it adds it here as a recently uploaded. Click on it, click add to canvas. Okay, now it's in here. You can make it as big or as small as you want, keeping within your 20cm space. Okay, so you can design away in here for what you want on the front of your bag. And I'm just going to show you what happens when you hit make it. You tell it's on a mat and click continue. It's thrown everything up to the top of the mat. So hit cancel. What you need to do is select everything. So I'm just going to zoom out here. Whoopsies, too far. just drawing a rectangle around the whole thing. And down here I'm going to hit attach, and basically that means pin it in place exactly where it is. And then you can click make it, and it stays in that place. You can move it on the mat, all as one thing, but it's in place where you want it. Okay? Now yours doesn't have to be as busy as this. You might just want a picture, you might just want a shape, you might just want a word, whatever you want, guys. So long as it fits within that 20 by 20 space, it's fine. Just remember, really small skinny parts, hard to work with. Okay, I'm just going to hit cancel and go back for a second. Now how to save, there it is, hit save. Bag design. Hit save. And that's it. Okay, you don't need to send it to me at all because you will plug your laptop into the college Cricut to print. Okay? But we will walk around and check that you're working on it. Okay, so please use this lesson to have a think about what you want your design to be, to download Cricut and start working in it. Thanks, guys.